Islam has provided the solution. And there is a story I'd like to relate to you of an individual, an American, white American by the name of Sipes, who was raised in a family of white supremacists belonging to the Ku Klux Klan, famous racist organization in America. And he talked about having joined that organization from he was 14 years till he was 21. And he became a high-ranking official in the Klan. He was involved in recruiting, etc. for it. And when he was asked about the reasons for his attitude, towards black Americans, African Americans, he said because that's what everybody in his family said. This is what he grew up with. They were always referring to black people as cockroaches, violent and bad, and they were just leeching off the white people. Eventually, he got involved in crime and ended up in jail. And while he was there, he had joined up with one of the racist groups in the jail, because people polarize in jails, Aryan Nation. And he, at that time, though he had joined with this group for his own self-protection, he had time to read. And he started to study about racism and race and people and their origins, etc. And he started to have some doubts about what he had been raised with. And the more he read, the more doubts to develop. Eventually he came out of jail and he met some Muslims. He ended up being a roommate of a black who was also a Muslim. And through the behavior, how that person as a Muslim treated him, sharing with him whatever he had, and he just couldn't understand it, why he would be so forthcoming and so sharing, it eventually won him over and he became a Muslim. From a white supremacist belonging to the Ku Klux Klan, being opened by reading. Of course, that's why Allah says in the Quran that these differences in color and tongues, etc., are from the greatness of Allah and have nothing to do with superiority or pride. This is clear to those who have knowledge. To those who have knowledge. A person without knowledge moves on emotion. So they can't change. Difficult to change when what you are reacting to is a product of emotion and not knowledge. And this is why, from the Islamic perspective, back to the Quran again, we find in the Quran where Allah identifies there the beginning of racism. Where? In the creation of Adam. When Adam was created, the angels and Iblis, Satan, a leader among the jinn, were instructed to bow in recognition of Adam's special place with Allah. Iblis refused. Satan refused. And when he was questioned as to why, he said, أَنَا خَيْرٌ مِّنْهُ خَلَقْتَنِي مِن نَارٍ وَخَلَقْتَهُ مِن طِينٍ. I'm better than him, Adam. That man that you want me to bow before. I'm better than him because you created me from fire. The jinn are created from fire. And you created him from clay. That is that expression of racism. You see, there it is in the Quran as something evil which led to God's curse, God's eternal curse on Satan. Pride based on racial, tribal origin is a cursed state. displeasing and hated by God. And that is how it is mentioned in the Quran. And that is why Islam has this great message to offer to humankind, to help them to achieve peace in this area, to bring them to the realities of humankind and human existence. Human beings are one human race, and there is only one God, and as such God created for human beings only one message. He did not want confusion amongst people, so he didn't create a variety of messages. He created, with the first human being on the earth, one religion, one God, one human race, and one religion. And that religion, the religion of Adam, was submission to the will of God, obedience to God's command. And that is what in Arabic is referred to as Islam. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Inshallah, brothers and sisters, we will now move into the question and answer session. We encourage non-Muslims, brothers and sisters both, to ask questions, and we will give them precedence at the microphone. So if any non-Muslims are here, you will be given preference at the microphones. Please state your name and your profession before you ask your question. Thank you. You may begin, sir.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Ludovic. I'm French. I am not Muslim. And I am traveling 8 months in India. I am studying in France, but actually I take a year for me. And maybe you said the answer of my question, but forgive me if I make you repeat. But how in the Quran Allah explains the different, the origin of the different kind of human, black, white. I don't like the word race, but we are all different, and how is it possible that from one first man, common first man, there are all these differences in the humanity?
Okay. Our friend's question basically is, how is it possible that the variety that we see amongst us here today, in terms of colors, shapes, sizes, colors of eyes and everything, we see all this variety, how can it come from one person? That's a good question. Well, the geneticists, those who specialize in genetics, modern scientists in the science of genetics, they explain it very easily. Every human being has in his or her genes the ability to produce every other human being. Every human being, not just Adam the first, but even you today have the ability to produce children of varying colors and shapes and sizes, etc.